Hey guys, Scott here. Today I want to talk about something I've noticed in the DBD content creation scene for a very, very long time. And I do think it's an issue, but it's one that I'm not really sure how to go about fixing ourselves. In a nutshell, the whole basic concept of the video is that DBD content online via YouTube or social media, whatever, is explicitly negative. It is like 95% negativity. And the problem is a lot of that is not even on the content creators themselves. It's because the community rewards negativity. The community is far more likely to watch and engage with negative content than positive content. The reason for that is just basically how humanity works in general. We typically want to bond over negative experiences and feel not alone in these experiences compared to like a positive experience. If you're typically, you have a day where you're just content and nothing bad happens, you don't really feel the need to rant about that to someone. You're content with life. There's nothing wrong with it. So why am I going to complain about it? Even it's like you don't go out of your way to make positive comments. But if you have a particular, bad slew of games in DBD, for example, you're far more likely to want to bitch to someone about that. And again, that's not even DBD or even gaming exclusive. That's just humanity in general will typically go for complaining and sharing those things because when we're happy about something, we're less likely to just want to tell other people about that. Unless it's like insanely life-changingly good. Like, I never leave Steam reviews for games, but after I played Expedition 33, I was like, shit, I got to write a review for this because it's just that good. But for the most part, if we're content with things, we don't feel the need to talk to other people about them because we're content. It's when we feel negative about things, we feel the need to, bitch to other people, and then they're likely to bitch about other things, and we bond over bitching about stuff. That's just how humanity works. So DBD is especially egregious in this because there's a lot to complain about. And there are very few things, at least lately, to be positive about. And because of that, viewers are far more likely to engage with negative content. Just as an example, if we had two separate videos that were uploaded on the same day or within a couple of days of each other, one of them is like all the worst things behavior's done and one of them is all the best things behavior's done. Which video are you more likely to click on? You're going to click on the worst one because you want to see them making clowns of themselves. You want to just see embarrassing situations, dumb decisions, stuff like that. You don't want to see oh, hey, that was a faithful rendition of Pinhead or something. You're just less likely to engage with that type of content. So it's just as much on the content creators as it is on the community itself because the community prefers watching that negativity. And that wasn't just an example. That literally happened. I did this exact thing. I made a top 10 worst things that behavior's ever done and the top 10 best things they've ever done, both 9 months ago within a few days apart. Guess which one has double the views? We are rewarded for making negative content. And it's not just me. It's every single DBD content creator. Again, just like if we look at, Otz's videos right here, we can see jump scaring Chandler Riggs, 154K. It tried 7 of the most underrated killer add-ons, 240K, 238K, 300K, 283K, 126K, 198K. I'm disappointed. 565K. That seems to be a pretty big difference. I wonder why that is. Again, this is every content creator. Here's Minskull, 73K, 35K, 54K, 49K, 33K, 125K. It's the one negative video. This PTB is pathetic. The truth is people just prefer watching negative content. And so content creators are encouraged to make negative content because if we make positive content, we get half the views, half the money, half the financial stability. And so even if we don't go out of our way to be greedy with clickbait and stuff like that, you still feel a much better sense of success and you feel better about yourself when a video has twice the views it normally would. And so even if it's not intentional, subconsciously, we are directed towards making negativity. And I feel like that's kind of shitty. I really wish that wasn't the case, but that really is just how the vicious cycle of viewership in DBD and frankly, a lot of games works. People thrive on negativity, and so content creators will post that stuff. And so there's always a lot of people that say oh, these content creators are so negative. And I'm like, yeah, well, can you blame them? People aren't watching the other shit that they're making. And I kind of understand that too, because DBD, what are you going to make that's positive about it right now? It's kind of hard to do. The most you can do is like neutrality, which is just like basic gameplay videos and things like that. But I promise any unique build that you've tried to make a video about, it's been done before. Someone's seen it. Someone has thought of it. Someone's probably made a video about it. There's not really enough variety in DBD to make a whole bunch of videos like that. Whereas like, compared to, I remember when I used to make Elden Ring videos, there were like hundreds of stupid, crazy builds I could do that people haven't done before. And it was really fun to make these videos, and they weren't negative at all. They were just all silly, fun videos because no one had done it before. But, there's only how many like epic vault speed builds can you take before you're like, okay, I get it. And so it makes sense that people are not going to endlessly consume the same type of videos. And frankly, there's nothing really positive to talk about DBD right now, so we're just gonna make negative stuff. That's kind of all there is. So how do we fix this vicious cycle? Well, the thing is, like I said, people want to bond over these shared negative experiences, which means we just need to have less negative experiences, which means behavior needs to stop making negative experiences happen. So in terms of what we can do, nothing. We can't do jack shit for this situation. This is pretty much entirely up to the devs to give us a bunch of positive things in the game that we can talk about, because it's happened before. I have made positive videos about things that developers have done that have been very positive, and they've done very well. Like when 2v8 was announced, like people were super positive about it, and videos about that stuff went well. Like when behavior does stuff that people really enjoy and they really want, people will actually celebrate that together. It's just, for the most part, especially this past year, behavior has given us basically nothing to celebrate. And short of fake positivity, which you can very clearly see most of the time, it's, I very, very heavily try to be as real as possible. And because of that, I can't pretend that I'm positive about the game right now. Most of the things they've done this year are just pretty shitty. And so I can't be like, but they're going to be okay, guys. Let's hang in there. It'll be good. Like, I'm kind of out of that right now. And until behavior gives me a reason to think otherwise, I don't really see this vicious cycle of negativity changing. And I don't really think anyone's to blame but the devs themselves. Like I said, it's partially the community for rewarding the videos. It's partially the content creators for making those videos, but it really is mostly on the devs for not giving us anything to celebrate about, because Dead by Daylight in general could use a win right now. And with the stagnation and reversion of a bunch of changes, like the biggest win that we have had right now is reversion of changes that shouldn't have happened to begin with. And frankly, they never even happened to begin with because they were just PTB things. So the happiest moment we've had, I think, in the past year is them going, oh, never mind, on something that didn't even happen yet. Like, that is really a sad state of affairs. That's the most positive thing we've had. So, like I said, this really comes down to the devs to give us something crazy. And maybe when January comes, if we get like a new Stranger Things, that'll be like cool for like a couple of weeks. But it's more a fundamental issue with the game. I think there needs to be something far more drastic for the community to really start having positive discussions about the game. I'm talking drastic, like things I've suggested before, like a custom server browser where we can make our own mods and stuff like that. I'm talking like a nuclear bomb of like, holy shit, this is crazy. Let's talk about this. But until then, I do think we're going to be stuck in this negativity cycle. And I think it really is mostly on the devs for not giving us anything positive to talk about. So it's kind of sad, but that's really just the reality of the situation we're in right now. And I hate to see it, but that's kind of just how it is. Sorry about the Debbie Downer video, but hey, it'll probably get more views because of that.